So let's start with what he announced at COP.
This is Tory MP Claire Coutinho, who used to be Secretary for Energy Security and Net Zero in the last government, questioning Ed Miliband about the impact of Labour's net zero approach. Never heard of her?
It's no wonder that Labour seems so relaxed about taxing meat.
Yes, she was one of the Tories who spread lies about Labour wanting to tax meat.
I just want to read a bit of your speech to you, because there was one section of it that really struck me. You said, it's no wonder Labour seems so relaxed about taxing meat. So Keir Starmer doesn't eat it, and Ed Miliband is clearly scarred by his encounter with a bacon sandwich. You didn't write that, did you?
I did actually write that. I think, it's good to have a light moment in your speech as well. But the point is actually...
They're not proposing a meat tax.
The point is actually very serious. So some of the things that Labour are proposing are incredibly hard for working families. So whether you have things like...
meat tax? That's what you're saying here.
Well, so the point is... They are proposing things which are pushing families too hard. So you've got things like the ULEZ tax expansion, which does cost families £12.50 a day.
It's not meat tax, though, is it?
But that is very difficult. And they've got things like proposing that you would decarbonise the electricity grid by 2030 again, which would result in very difficult choices for families.
With that in mind, back to the Commons.
And in Baku, while he was signing us up to these targets without talking about what they will do for life for British people, he was also signing away billions of pounds of taxpayers' money. He signed us up to a $300 billion annual climate finance target, and I'm afraid it's not credible to say that taxpayers won't have to pay more, and they deserve to know by how much. And he's now saying he can achieve higher climate targets in a way that's zero cost to the public. This is not a recipe for climate leadership, Mr. Speaker. It's a recipe for higher bills and lost jobs, and it will be a disaster for the British public.
Now for an incredible revelation.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let me deal with her questions such as they are, Mr. Speaker. Let's start with our nationally determined contribution announced at COP. Yeah. It's so interesting that she now opposes this, because the 2035 NDC announced by the Prime Minister is exactly the target her government legislated for in 2021 in the sixth carbon budget, which covers 2035, which means she is now opposing, Mr. Speaker, the very same target her government put into law. And she claimed that she was working towards as Secretary of State just a few months ago. And Mr. Speaker, there is a pattern here. Every week, the Right Honourable Lady takes to Twitter to express her latest outrage about a policy, asking who on earth could support this. And every week, someone pops up in her replies and says politely, "You did, just a few months back." Because this isn't the only one, Mr. Speaker. Last week she came out against the clean heat market mechanism, another policy she proposed. In fact, I have a statement from her from only 8 months ago, where she said it will be coming in, the clean heat market mechanism, in April 2025, exactly what this government is doing. And the truth is, Mr. Speaker, any passing bandwagon, and she'll leap on it, even if it means trashing her record. And let me give her a little lesson about opposition. The job of opposition is to oppose the government, not to oppose yourself. And this is where she has ended up. And so out of the window goes any commitment to climate action, ignoring the fact it's the route to energy security, good jobs and lower bills, ignoring the fact it's backed by business, ignoring the fact that this country has an honourable tradition of a bipartisan consensus. I'm happy to say that the last government proposed some ambitious targets, that COP26 was an important milestone for the world. And the truth is about this is it's not just irresponsible. It's not just crass opportunism. It's also actually what helped take the Conservative Party down to their worst election defeat in 200 years. So it's not going to work for her. Now let me tell her what the Clean Energy Superpower Mission means for Britain. It means cleaning up our power system so we don't leave the country exposed as they did to fossil fuels. It means new jobs in carbon capture and storage as we decarbonise industry and reindustrialise. It means energy efficiency in homes, meaning lower bills, warmer homes and lower emissions. And as for the NISO report that she talks about, I know it's deeply disappointing to her, but we've got an independent report that says the following. First of all, 2030 is achievable. She said it wasn't. It also says it will give us energy security, which she says it wouldn't give us. And it says that it can lead to lower electricity, something she constantly denied. The truth about the Right Honourable Lady is that she's got nothing to say about the. It's basically the Conservative Party is stop the world, I want to get off. Well, stop the world, I want to get off is going to do nothing for the British people. The truth is she's got a lot to learn, and I'm afraid she needs to start reflecting. She needs to start reflecting on where her government went wrong, and it went wrong in many different ways, and she seems to be learning no lessons.
Click here for Ed Miliband puts down Lee Anderson.